even require you to like my page to be entered into the contest, because some people have their likes hidden. They're only visible to themselves. So you have to make sure you're following the rules. The other thing is you have to include a paragraph at the bottom that releases Facebook from all the liability. There's this big long thing you might have seen on some contests. You can create that disclaimer on a note on your page and then link to it in your contest. But there are people, there are actual human beings that are looking at your stuff when you post things. And so when they see that you're doing these, they can either shut down the contest or they will negatively sanction your page or your group in general if you're not following the rules. So other than that, you can get lots and lots of comments, but I would encourage them to say something in them. So like put words in them, because the ones that end up getting into the most trouble are the ones where you say like, you know, put a 1 if you agree with this, and they just 1, 1, 1, 1, and there's no content in there. So have them say, you know, tell me what your favorite breakfast is, you know, or something, like give them to actually say some words, and that should make enough of a difference.
Karen, I have one over here.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Delana.
Hi.
I have a question. I know you're really focusing on pages, but so many of us are really focused on groups.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of people in my group. I have a lot of interaction, but I know that there are programs or businesses you can pay to go through your group members and tell you these are the people that suck. And you can kick them out. So do you, I don't know if they can do it on your profile, but I know you can do it on groups. I bet if they have it on groups, you can do it on profiles as well. No, it like says like these are the low members. These are the ones that are not interactive. These are the ones that are distributors that are poaching your stuff. So do you recommend paying for that program and kicking those people out of your group?
Okay, great question. My short answer is no, but the long answer is there's twofold, and I hope I remember to say all these things I thought of while you were talking. Number one thing is I do not recommend other distributors like or participate in each other's groups or pages at all. There's no reason. So here's the thing that can be really damaging for you if you're liking or any other than you're in your upline, like a team group, but not customer groups. The reason is Facebook actually looks at, and I know you guys have noticed this if you've had groups, that your people are not seeing your posts as much anymore. Groups are now governed by the algorithm. But one of the things that really damages your group is if you have a disproportionate amount of people in your group to who are interacting. So let's say I have 1,000 people in my group, and it's always the same 20 people who are interacting. Facebook thinks you're a spammy group because obviously your content's not good enough to get those people to comment. Well, if 50 of those are other distributors who are just spying on you, or you let them in because you're sharing your whatever, it's really bad for your overall algorithm to have other people in there who are not likely to click on your link to buy something, same thing on pages, interact with comments.
But Karen, that is kind of important to a lot, because we do get people in there that you don't want in, that are spying on your group, that and get in touch with your customers, etc.
Right. So the other part of that then is the way I see groups, and some of you might need to backtrack and do something to kind of streamline your groups if you haven't done it this way, is like I mentioned before, the only people I feel should be in a group are people who have had some kind of interaction with you already, whether they've purchased your product, they've asked you for information, they've already have a relationship with you, and you have to then filter out in, don't use that add button to just add people to your groups, and then you're going to have to moderate. And there's a new thing now within your groups, and go check them if you haven't done this yet, where you can ask them questions to qualify them before you allow them into your group. So one of the questions can be, where did you learn about Synogens? Or where did we meet, let's say, or something like that, so that you're fine-tuning who is actually in your group. Now, the business pages, anybody can watch it and look at it and see it and look at your stuff and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing you can do about that. But within your group, you want to have, I'd much rather have you have 100 people in your group where 50-50 are actually interacting than 1,000 and only 10, because then Facebook will show your post to more people. It sees you as people are looking forward to the things that you have to say. So I'm just not familiar with the app. I haven't used it myself, but I can tell you that in general, a lot of the third-party outside apps, even though Facebook allows them to exist because they release the API, which is like code stuff, for being able to use their platform, Facebook does not like it when you use tools that are not built into Facebook itself.
So Karen, when a customer becomes a distributor, should you take them out of your group?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, why would you want your customer to maybe accidentally go on to their, put them into their team group and encourage them to have their own?
We have another question over here.
Okay.
Okay, so you talked about the disappearing stories.
Yeah.
Are those only available from your personal profile?
So on Facebook, you can only do that as of now on your personal profile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know you usually say to keep business off your personal profile. So it's just.
Yeah, no, there's nothing, you're right. Yeah, there's no way to use it on as your business on the Facebook day or Facebook story. Ideally on those, you're not really like doing business as far as asking for a sale or whatever, but you're talking about your business because it's your life, kind of day in the life thing. Yeah. Right, exactly. Instagram, you can have your separate Instagram business if you want. And overall, when we're talking about that 911, so basically 90% of anything that you do on social media, you're not asking for a sale anyway. It's about your life. It's about your business. It can be about that you're here or look at this new color that we have, but you're not saying go buy it or go click on the link to go buy it. Yeah, that's the thing to be careful with. Oh, wait, right here. Where? Okay. And we just have a couple more minutes, you guys. I will be out there through lunchtime, so feel free to come and talk to me if you have other questions.
This is just an extension onto, she was asking about giveaways.
Yeah.
So if we do a giveaway where we have them tag people, which ultimately opens up the exposure.
Tagging in the comments is okay. Yeah.
So, but does that count? You were saying as the, everyone comments 1111 and then it deems it
No, that's not as, because there's a word in there. Yeah, it's the one
since they're only tagging other people.
But they're tagging different. They're all tagging different people.
Exactly.
The big thing is when you're saying everybody say yes,
and they're doing the same answer.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Good.
So
Good to know. Thank you.
Okay, maybe one or two more, and then we'll have to stop.
So I have a question in regards to Natalie. Having team members in your group, and this has just been my experience. So I don't know, but for me, having team members in my group has actually boosted the interaction with my customers big time.
Okay.
It causes, because a lot of times, you know how like our customers are like Santa Claus, they're always watching, but they maybe don't say anything. And that's like when you post like a picture of your kids or whatever, and then all of a sudden you get all these likes, you're like, oh. Yeah. So for me, having the distributors in my group has caused so much more interaction, and it caused people to see my posts more and to boost them, and there's more likes and comments. And then I feel like, what about, and I don't know your thoughts on this, and this is what I'm kind of wondering, you're able to kind of like, for me, lead by example. So they're seeing what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and how I'm interacting. And so I don't know your thoughts on that, but for me, it's been a really positive thing.
Okay, so in general, my answer would be if everything is working for you, don't change a thing. I really don't feel like everybody has to do whatever I say. However, there's other ways to approach it that would, like, for example, you could have your team group where you're sharing with them different posts that you did, how successful, screenshot them, show them the kinds of things that you're doing. For example, I think it can be really confusing to the everyday consumer to have multiple consultants in there. And also, if they know that everybody who's interacting are just other people that are selling it, it doesn't feel authentic. Of course they like it because they're selling the stuff, right? So think about it from a person who knows nothing about your company or your product. What it would seem like if there's other distributors in there, it's confusing, and they don't know how direct sales works anyway, so they're going to click to their name and friend them, and it gets a little confusing there. And to know that most of the interaction are from other people that are selling it, it can start feeling like they're getting bombarded. I don't know if it's how that is in your group. Yeah. Right. That's right. Yeah. Right. So it might not be a problem. She's saying most of the time they can't tell, really, that you're other distributors. Right. You don't want to bombard, like gang up on people, right? It kind of feels like, we might just be at, my Christmas party, and as far as my friends know, these are just friends of mine, and then we start talking about Synergence, and everybody's like, oh yeah, I like this and all, and then I'm just here like, whoa, is this like a cult? Like, what's going on here? It starts feeling like that, so you want to be really careful to minimize it. But the other thing is, things like, let's just say if it's really working and you really don't have any problem with the visibility in general, or maybe it is even helping, maybe it's not a problem. But in most groups, in most direct selling companies, and maybe the culture here is a little different, that it's more supportive, which is good. But if you're not, it probably is. But if you're not having a problem, it might not be a problem. But if you're finding that your overall visibility of like if it's only other distributors commenting, that tells you something. Either the algorithm isn't showing it to the non-distributors, or the non-distributors are intimidated because it's all these other people. It's always the same people all the time talking. I think we're wrapping up.
We have time for one more question.
One more. Okay.
Hi, I'm Spencer. I know a lot of us have groups, and something that I struggle with when I get new downlines is instructing them how to set up their group.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's two schools of thought. Either, add every woman you know, because you never know who's going to be interested in the product, and if they don't want to be in your group, they can leave. And there's another school of thought that you should only have people in your group that want to be in it, and people get really, upset if they get added to a bunch of groups without their permission.
Right.
So I just was wondering your thoughts on that.
Yeah. So I'm the second. However, you can in the settings of your group, if you set up a group email address, which we never use the email address, but when you set up the group email address, it gives you a short link. So it'd be facebook.com/group/Karen Blips or something. Then you get an easier link to share, and then give people the opportunity to say yes or no. But what the important thing is to make sure you convey to them the value they're going to get by joining your group. So they know they will learn something. I'm not going to bombard you with sales posts. I'm there to teach you, answer questions, offer service, those kind of things. You might have to remind them a couple of times, but I believe in giving people the chance to opt in versus having to opt out. We have a real problem in the industry in general with people feeling like they're getting spammed by being added to groups all the time. You don't want to be that person. You can ask them offline, hey, you want to add my group? Be added to my group. They say yes, you can add them. But other than that, I believe in giving them an option. So thank you, Bob. All right, so my final thought, I guess, would be one of my standard phrases that I say is to remember that social media is about connecting with people and not connecting or collecting people. So I'm happy to answer questions out there. I'll be there, like I said, through lunch. And thank you all for your time.
I think you'll agree. And it was exciting to walk around and hear from all of you how terrific you are, how very easily digestible the information was. Do you feel like you can take it home and use it right away? Some of you are doing it here in the room, right? Which is very exciting as well. And to thank you, Karen, we've got a gift basket full of product. And be careful, because some of this is not available again yet. And you may get accosted out there. That's a gift basket for you. We so appreciate you. Please, a nice hand for Karen Clark. Synergence, thank you. Thank you, Karen. We appreciate you. Question? Okay, and as Karen comes back to you, we want to take you through a little bit of information as we break for lunch. You're going to have a social media task during lunch today and tomorrow, and the winner is going to get 100 Cinebucks.